everybody, Meredith here again. So my channel, if you're new here, is all about crafts, books, and basically life, things that I love. So welcome, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and let's jump on into the video. So this video, if you've been watching my previous videos, you might have known I love to cross stitch. It's something I've always really loved doing. My mom taught me when I was pretty young, and my oldest sister and I are kind of stuck with it and have always really loved it. And now things have gotten, with Etsy and stuff like that, there's more modern patterns that you can choose, which is more my style. Back in the 80s, it was, more 80s style. So it's nice that it's progressed as time has gone on with the patterns. And you're supporting in smaller companies as well on Etsy. So that's where I get the majority of my, actually pretty much all my patterns are from Etsy. And all these patterns, if I can, I will link them in the description down below so that you can hopefully be able to get one as well and work on yours. Okay, so these are the ones that I'm going to show you, ones that I've recently completed. I cross stitch often, but if you've cross stitched or done any sort of needlework, it takes a long time to complete one. So it's not a lot. I'm only going to show you 4 because that's what I have. And some of them, a couple of them are pretty small. So, and one you may have seen from a previous video, but I'm going to show you anyways. So the first one I have framed, and this is my koala. And this was to support the fires in Australia. So the koalas, when the koalas needed saving, and this flower is apparently the national flower of Australia that withstands fires. So it was pretty cool how they kind of came up with the concept. This is from the pumpkin, frosted pumpkin company that I purchased from, and it fit really well in this frame. This was a frame from Target that someone had recommended through the company, saying that that's what they did. And I really like how it came out. It's pretty simple, but it's very detailed, and I think he's just so darn cute. And then you can, you did a good thing. So the pattern was only like $5, and the money all went to help the rescue of these awesome animals. So yeah, so that was the first one. The second one I'm going to show you, my sister had purchased from the same company, this needle minder, and it's official donut club member. And what a needle minder is that you will put this on your fabric on one side and on the other, and then you can it magnetically holds your needle in place. But she had purchased this for me as a nice gift, and I'm very literal with things, and I'm like, I can't be an official donut member unless I do the donut pattern. So I purchased the donut pattern, and this one I recently finished. This is the donut. You can see that it's fraying on the edges, so please ignore because it's not framed or anything, and I just finished it. This is my donut, and fun fact, I don't even like donuts, but they're so cute, I had to do it. And the beads are those bugle beads, so they're straight beads but round and different colors, and I just got those at Joann's, and that's what they called for to put on beads. And that's the first time I ever done bead work on a pattern before. It's not usually something I like, but for this, the way they did it, the way they kind of came up with it, I think is really cute. So I'm going to do a really close up so you can kind of see a little bit better. So the bugle beads, because it's a little hard to see close up. What was difficult about this one is there's so many different pinks in it that it was hard to keep track of where you were. So it made it a little bit more challenging, even as simple and small as it was. So yeah, I really liked it. I liked how it came out. I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna frame it or hang on to it and frame it later. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If you have any ideas, let me know in the description down, or in the comments down below, what I should do, because I haven't figured that out. So the next one is this one right here. This was a pattern I bought again on Etsy, and what I liked about it is it did this round shape. So all of her patterns are round, and so that you can frame it in a hoop if you want to. So the hoop, I've never framed anything in a hoop before. This is the first time I framed one in a hoop. I think I get why people like them, but I look at a hoop the whole time I'm stitching it. So to frame it, I just never really got on board with that. But I thought with this, maybe I'll give it a shot. So I actually ended up buying an extra hoop and framing it in that. I know some people will put ribbon and like a bow. That's not for me. I like things a little more simple, not as cutesy. It's just not my style. And I think this actually, I really like how it came out. I love the flowers on this, and I love the colors and the pinks. And let me get a close-up of that. And you can see I always date mine. Actually, I need to date my donut. I haven't dated my donut yet. I always date mine and put my initials. And just for my reference, I think it's, my mom always taught us to do that. And I think it's kind of a nice memory because you know what you were doing, like 2020, why do I have so many cross stitches? Oh yeah, I had a lot of time. So, or just what was going on, like the Australian, so like this one, the koala it has the date, but I have framed it. So I took the date out, like it's still on the fabric, so I can look back later on when I take it out of the frame, when I did it. So even if it's not being shown, I still have it on there. So yeah, so that's that one. And this pattern is from a girl in Russia. So she had some interesting styles, things I really liked. The flowers came out really, really good. And I really like the color combination and the light blue backer. She recommended more of like, I think it is a darker blue, but I really like the light blue. I think it's different and I think it looked really nice with the colors. So I was happy I chose that color. The final one is the creme de la creme. This is the one that I worked on and I absolutely love. This is my Alice in Wonderland. And this was a stitch along. I'm gonna do a close up so you can see there and pan it. Hopefully I'm doing a good job. I cannot see. Hopefully you can see. Anyways, so yeah, that is the Alice in Wonderland. This is a stitch along. So what stitch along is that you only see like the basics of what it's gonna be. So all I knew going in is that it's gonna be this shape. I'm gonna use this fabric, these colors, and it's gonna be an Alice in Wonderland. So every couple weeks we got a portion of it to stitch. And what's cool is it kind of creates a community. There's groups on Facebook that these companies will set up, and you're stitching along with people from all over the world. And then you can kind of see if they alter it at all, if you want to alter it. So like you can go off the pattern or you can change to what they did. Now, I buy the pattern from companies that I really like, so I really stick to the pattern and I do not like to alter. I know some people like to change the colors based off of what they look like or what, so like I saw one woman did a brunette Alice. I mean, I know Alice is blonde, so for me, I'm just literal. I want to do what it shows, and I think they do a really good job, so I stick with what the creator, the designer came up with. So yeah, so this one, I'm not sure, maybe eventually I'll get it professionally framed in a triangle. I think that would look kind of cool. But for now, I'm just gonna ponder it for a bit because I love it so much. This one was one of my favorites that I've ever done. And then you can see in the corner, I did the date right at the angle. That was the first time I'm trying to match it with the pattern, because if I were to frame it in a triangle, then I can see it. I just think it would look nice, especially spending a lot of money to get it professionally framed. But that's a future project. I don't know. But I do know I want this on my wall. It's so cute. And I really like how it came out. So again, I'll put the patterns down below. So that's the 4 of them, the ones that I've completed. I'm working on one right now that was from Easter. It was an Eastern pattern. And I'm working on it now so that hopefully it will be completed and like finished by Easter. So that's my goal. We'll see if that happens. But so far I'm like a quarter of the way done with the stitching part. So that's good. So maybe I'll show that in a future video. Anyway, so that's the 4 that I have. If you have any questions about cross stitching, I have other videos and I will link a couple of them in the description down below to kind of show you maybe how to get started and framing options, all that kind of thing. So check those out down below, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.